Rovers kicking off their campaign this weekend up against EFL Championship opponents West Bromwich Albion. But today we're going to have a chat with the Rovers fans, see what their hopes and dreams are about the season, and we're going to come at you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're taking a look at the EFL Championship. We've got the fans here. We've got the Roverseas Mafioso. We're going to talk all things Blackburn Rovers, and we're coming at you in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe. You want some short for Blackburn Rovers, Championship football, world football. We're going to all here under one rooski, and it is, of course, the brand new, squeaky clean pod is back. That's right. I've got a chat with the lads about all things. We're talking about the home kits. We're talking about the start 11. We're talking about the cup game. We've got all it covered here over the next couple of hours. So sit tight, hold on, and we're going to get into it in just 1 second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons, of course. But now it's time for the giggles and the laughs and the knowledge. That is, of course, the Roverseas Mafioso. Before we take a deep dive into West Brom and, of course, the brand new season, I want to catch up with a couple of Roverseas Mafiosos. We're going to start with Jodsy. How the devil are you? Did you manage to get out to any of the pre-season matches for Rovers? Did you see anything of note heading into the new campaign?
I just went to the one. So I've got a little theory on this. I went to Everton at home, and the theory is when I do a load of pre-season games, it just feels like the season goes on forever and ever. So I kind of made a bit of a commitment with myself only probably about 2 seasons ago, just to go reduce the number of pre-season friendlies. Otherwise, it just feels a bloody long season. I get football fatigue. So Everton looked very promising. We moved the ball around well. I think it was a little bit too early days for Everton, so we can't read too much into it. But I liked what I saw. Unfortunately, what I really liked is no longer playing for the club. So Callum Britton, I'm sure we'll be talking about him at some stage today. But yeah. It's a massive disappointment. That's probably no surprise, spoiler alert. But but no, we moved the ball around well. I thought we defended brilliantly as well. So a lot of promises. And I'm looking at the BBC website now. We're second in the league, aren't we? It's Birmingham top. We're second in the league. So what's not to like about today, hey?
No, it's the way we want it. It's the end of season now. Stop the count. Holmesy, did you manage to catch any of the games that were streamed on the old online? There was a couple of them. There's one out in Holland. There was a couple of out in Spain. Did you manage to see any of those? And if you did, what did you see?
No, not a lot, Dirk. Not a lot was getting through to South Africa. This part of the southern hemisphere, unfortunately. Did follow a couple of the results, and they seemed to be pretty positive right up until the last one, I suppose. So that was good. It is, of course, a lot of new players coming through, which, yeah, as John T mentioned, spoiler alert, we probably will be chatting about some of the guys who have come in over the last 3 months. A lot of guys going out. So it does seem to be a bit of a changing of the guard for Rovers this season. Of course, Ishmael's first pre-season, so it was good for them to get that under the belt. And yeah, let's look to see what the new guys are doing. But I think by and large, it was a positive pre-season for us. Majority of wins. The Everton game probably stands out the most. So yeah, let's hope we're ready for the start of the season.
Standout friendly out of the pre-season. What was your make or break performance out of the 5 friendlies that we did? We played Stanley, Everton, Qatar, Elche, and of course the Dutchies, which we did lose.
From what I heard, the Everton game was brilliant. Apparently, we gave them a really good game and kind of played them off the park. Obviously, they put a fairly decent side out. Obviously, their season starts later than we do, so we should be kind of more match fit at that point than they would be. But I think there was definitely some positive signs to take from there, and Deneve getting a goal as well, and it was a nice assist from Callum Britton as well.
Yeah, that's a point of contention. I think we're all kind of still licking our wounds over that deal, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, throughout pre-season, we did get to see a lot of minutes from a lot of folks, and like you said, Deneve getting his first goal. We also saw Yuki Uhashi getting in a couple. Even Big Mac Tagay, who has been rumored to be of interest, but I don't know if that's just a couple of people's just putting 2 and 2 together, coming up with 5. But good performances. Kangbo looks lively. And again, it's a cliche, but he does look like a brand new signing coming into this because we didn't really get to see the full extent of him last season. But ending it on a defeat ahead of a big game against West Bromwich Albion, not the greatest cup of tea. And also, while we were there, or during pre-season, we did, unfortunately, pick up an injury, that's right. And Hayden Carter seems to be out for the opening few games of the campaign. Going to be a big loss, do you think, Jonty?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think it's disappointing. Nobody wants to miss the start of the season. As soon as you start the season, then obviously an injury right at the start of the season. It seems to be worse because it takes up a bit of speed. If he played a few games and then got injured, during the season, I don't know. I've always looked at it that people get injured before struggle to get back up to speed as quick. But let's I suppose it'll be a bit of a test for him. But yeah, he's. I can't fault him really. To be fair, Hayden Carter, he's a good player. He's quite a presence at the back. He wins a lot of headers as well. So and we're kind of, I guess we're going to be relying on a couple of the new centre backs that we've got, certainly.
Yeah,
the one centre back that we've got, Sean McLaughlin, is it?
Yeah, the new Irishman, left-footed centre back, and another player that we'll get to in just a second. But I thought I had him earmarked, Hayden Carter, to be the starter alongside. Well, actually, probably wouldn't have been the starter really. With the focus of having a left-footed centre back and a right-footed centre back at the heart of the defence. So in your eyes, Holmesy, where do when fully fit and raring to go, where would Hayden Carter fit in your lineup? Would he be backup centre back, or do you have plans and aspirations for him to be a regular?
Yeah, listen, I think it's time for him to really step up now, isn't it? He's been there 2022. I think he made his debut 23 or 22, 23 or 23, 24 last season. He also got injured. So hopefully he can get a full season behind him once he's got back from this injury. And I think certainly when he's fully fit, he's up there with our top defenders. So I'd like to see him push through and really state his claim as a top defender. But yeah, especially with Danny Bath obviously making way, I think there's certainly room for him to take on that position.
Yeah, and I think we kind of got pretty much, besides Hayden Carter. I don't think we lost too many players or too many injuries concerns heading into the brand new season. I know Todd Cantwell was he seems to be like this, a little bit hit and miss, like missed a couple of games through a niggle, but for the most part, I do think he's going to be fit and raring to go. But to wrap up this little segment on the old pre-season, you got any final takeaways, Jacob, before we start to review some of the transfer business that we've gone through?
I mean, it's just one of those. I think you can never look too much into pre-season. I'm just ready for West Brom now. To be honest with you, I'm going to be there. I'm looking forward to it, and let's see how we perform in that game, and then this might be a completely different conversation depending on how that game goes.
Yeah, it's going to be a chance for us to see what these new guys are like, and of course to see what the opposition like. There's a lot of question marks about the West Brom team, what's going to be like, new manager. I just got actually off a chat with a West Brom fan to give me a little bit of insight into that. But before we do a deep dive into that, let's take a deep dive into this. He's gone blindly, bloody hell! Thank heavens for that. JRC is no more. Of course, he signed, sealed, and delivered his move to Charlton. I think it's a good club for him. Probably better than I thought it would be, actually. I didn't think he would actually get a club in the Championship, but he's there. John C., I know you're a big fan of the Academy guys coming through. Good move for him, or who won out of this deal? Did Rovers win it? Did JRC win it, or did Charlton win it?
I think Charlton have probably won it. I think there's definitely a player in there. I don't think he quite settled into his natural position that he's come through the academy in, which is central midfielder. I think he's suited right back a lot better, but especially losing Callum Britton as well. I think we could have done with somebody like JRC. But I wish the guy luck. I'd certainly give him a clap when he comes back to Ewood. It's just not worked out for him. It's JRC, John Buckley as well. It's not working out for John Buckley. He doesn't be even some of the pre-season games. He's always just been on the bench again, John Buckley. So. Nobody likes to see academy players going, but I think it's a good signing. He's remained in the championship. I just hope it doesn't come back and bite us on our backside, because I definitely think there's a player in there as well.
Yeah, Holmesy, what's your take? Considering our transfer business so far with the Australian right back coming in there, and of course the young, a bit of an unknown quantity in the Ryan Abluesi, which I think we might gloss over here in a second. But do you think if he had stayed, he would have a conversation to have, being a part of the Rovers setup?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, he's been there and thereabouts for the last 3 or 4 seasons. I mean, he's been in the Rovers shirt since since COVID days, 2019. He's probably made his debut, and he's been around and about maybe 20 caps per season. But he's also carried a few injury niggles along the way. As he was one of those players, as soon as he started picking up a little bit of form, he'd do himself in, and he was on the injury bed for a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, month, loses that momentum, and it's starting all over again. I think he probably could have been a good squad player for us this season. Obviously, with Callum Britton going off, I think that's the reason why we got the new guy from Aussie in. But I do think there was a place for him. Also, a versatile player. It's always great to have that versatility, someone who can slot in at right back, slot in the midfield, especially a bench player. That makes a lot of sense. But yeah, listen, sometimes a change is good for the player, a change is good for the club. We'll certainly have new guys coming through. Chance for an academy player to start stepping up and making the squad. I don't know who we've got there on the right back coming through, but as you mentioned, there's already another youngster waiting in the wings. And good luck to JRC. Thanks for his service, and we'll certainly give him a clap when he comes back. But I don't think we can be too sad with this.
No. And Jacob, what about the fee? I think it's around about £1 million for it. Daylight robbery from Blackburn Rovers, right?
I think we've done well to get that amount personally. I mean, I know he's not old by any means, but the amount of times me and you were on stream deck just pulling our hair out with him, such a frustrating player in kind of our eyes anyway. But to me, he just seems like a very bang average, maybe even below average championship player who just had a really good kind of 6 months under John Dahl, where he did just tear it up, and it was bloody amazing. My mind goes back to that Huddersfield game where he found himself in left wing when he was playing right back and puts it in, chips the keeper with his weak foot, and that just kind of summarised how good he was playing at the time. But to me, I think we've done well with the fee. I think he's done well to get a championship club, probably a club where he'll obviously be pushing to start, I would think. But for me, as a right back, I just always thought he was way too slow off the mark. Up against a fast winger, he'd just get beat every time. And I think, like Holmesy was saying, he is kind of just that utility man. I never could see him starting. So for him to be on the bench as someone who you can maybe play in right wing or midfield or right back, he was useful to have. But I think he probably wants a club where he's going to be starting, and obviously we've not given him that, so and that's why we've shown him the door.
Yeah, another player out the door, of course, was this guy, Tyree Stolen, now playing his football in Spain. Everyone was guessing, everyone had their own assumptions as to where he was going. Was he going to the Premier League? Was he going to a top-tier championship club? Was he going to go to a relegation-bound Derby County? John T, good move for the lad?
He's gone to the Burnley B team, hasn't he? Yeah, it probably is a good move for Tyrese Dolan. Just too inconsistent for me. Again, just one too many step overs and little tricks and flicks and things like that. He just needs to get his head up and play a pass. He's. I guess he was aesthetically pleasing on the eye, watching him at times, but also really, really frustrating as well. So no, it's. I'm not that gutted. I mean, obviously, the last sort of 5 or 6 games that he played for Rovers, unfortunately, that's going to live in the memory of us because we'll think, what a loss he's been. But also, equally, I remember, he was a pedestrian in some games, or he'd be doing too many step overs. So, no, it's a good test for him. I think he's done the right thing going across to Spain. If he does well over in that league and is a bit of a standout performer for them, then yeah, he might get his opportunity in the Premier League. But for me, bit of a, he's still a young lad. He's still got a lot to learn. So, one day he might be in the Premier League, but I just can't see it. I just think he'll be a half decent Championship player with another club at some stage.
Yeah, kind of took the words out of my mouth. I was going to ask Holmesy, where do you see Tyrese Dolan in 6 months' time? January transfer window. Is this big bad boy Brereton Diaz 2.0, or do you think he'll kick on and actually succeed out in La Liga?
Yeah, I mean, for his sake, I hope he can kick on and do well there. For me, he was always a very frustrating player. Jonty mentioned it, one too many step overs. He always reminded me of like when you have a little puppy and he gets a new ball and he just wants to play with it and he just like keeps it between his legs and he's running around and hitting the ball and without actually lifting his head and like creating something constructive. I mean, in amongst it, he did have a couple of good games for us. I mean, he burst onto the Rovers scene when we gave him a chance from Preston. Did really well in those opening few matches, and I think we got a lot out of him over the seasons. But to be honest, I don't see him as a Premier League footballer. I don't see him. I mean, you have a look at that quality that's in the Premier League at the moment. That standard is just getting better and better and better. And the players that are coming into the league. And there's definitely, okay, besides your Real Madrids and your Barcelonas, there's definitely a very massive cliff that you fall off as you go into the lower teams there in Spain. Whereas the gap in England is actually closing, well, that's my view from being down here on the southern tip of Africa, is that it's closing. You've got teams like Nottingham Forest who are like closing those gaps. It's getting harder and harder. From probably 15 upwards, it's you've got United battling it out for 15th place nowadays. But yeah, I certainly don't see Tyrese as a top a Premier League footballer. I think he'd be a good Championship footballer in time. I think he's a medium Championship footballer at present, and he'll probably end up at another Championship club, maybe on loan in January, but more than likely next season, probably at Derby.
I hope not. I really hope not. And again, very much similar comparisons to Diaz, who, of course, will be starting life in where is he now? I've lost it. He's actually is he at Southampton, Diaz, or did Brereton?
Sheffield United.
Can't remember.
I can't remember.
No.
Well, I know he was at Southampton.
Sheffield United.
I don't know. Well, anyway,
I'm
going to look while we're at it. But closing comments on this one. This is the last time I'm ever going to mention Tyrese Dolan's name. Jacob, what's your take on his switch?
Might not be. He might be moving to Burnley if he sets the La Liga alight. But yeah, I can only kind of share the same sentiments. A hugely frustrating player, not only at times on the pitch, but just also with sounded like a broken record for about 3-4 seasons in a row. He said, I'm going to be the man to step up this season. I'm going to be the man to get 20 goals, and I don't think he ever broke double figures in goals. Yeah, I mean, he was always kind of a bit underwhelming, and I think it's easily forgotten how young he is. I mean, he is only 22, 23, so he's still got a lot of time to kind of kick on. But in the time we kind of saw him at Rovers, I didn't really see any improvement. If anything, I kind of enjoyed watching him more when he burst onto the scene during that COVID season, and he was a very tricky player, very direct, really got you got you on the edge of your seat. And then, I mean, obviously he had a brilliant kind of last, 5 to 10 games for us there, and it almost like he was just kind of doing that to put himself in the shop window, just like Diaz did before he left. To me, this just smacks of he probably wanted a Premier League move, just like I assumed Diaz would have, and couldn't get one, so he's ended up going to La Liga. And in my eyes, if Diaz couldn't make the step up, he was absolutely tearing the Championship up when he left us. I don't see why Dolan will be able to. So, yeah, I can probably see him back in the Championship in 6 to 12 months, Dirk. And, I mean, it's probably going to be another case of the grass isn't always greener when you leave Rovers.
Yeah, and that seems to be a common trend, with Adam Armstrong, Barrington Diaz, even Bradley Dack, even though Bradley Dack was kind of like forced out. Smodic has got a point to prove now. Can he deliver back in the Championship like he did last time around? Interesting times up ahead for those players on the move. Meanwhile, coming in, John T, we've had Irish centre back coming in here from Hull. Not too sure about the fee. I don't have the number in front of me. Is it around about $1 million? I don't know. But it was on the shopping list. Left-footed centre back. Good bit of business maybe by Rovers.
Yeah, potentially. I don't know enough about the guy. I mean, it just with any Championship team that comes to Ewood Park, you're more looking at the midfielders and the attacking players as opposed to he's a really good defender unless somebody has an absolutely standout game. But so unfortunately, I don't have any friends. Well, hang on, I need to rephrase that. I don't have any friends. I don't have any Hull City friends. Yeah, let's edit that bit out. But I don't have any Hull City friends, so I've not been able to bounce anything off anybody, sort of thing. So it's a bit of the unknown, but I guess every single fan in this country, when they sign a player that's a bit unknown to them, they think they're going to be just a little rough diamond and they found an absolute gem that's going to, and I guess that's where I am with a lot of our players because I don't know that much about them. I've only seen a couple of them on the pre-season friendly against Everton. He's we've had some decent Irish players over the past, haven't we? So hopefully he's going to fit into that category. I think the best Irish player we've had undoubtedly is Damien Duff. So hopefully, there's a bit of a thing going on with our Irish contingent as well. So let's wait and see. Again, seems a big lad, big presence in the box as well. So left-footed as well. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed indeed. And yeah, we did have some good Irish players. David Duffy, a standout. We've also had some good Australians. That's right. Socceroos, of course. Holmesy, you're the closest probably geographically, I think, to maybe Australia. I don't know. But your take on Lewis Miller coming in from Hibs, right back. Excited?
Yeah, listen. Just from what the fans are saying, I think Hibs were quite disappointed to lose him. I think and from the Australians, they seem pretty high up on Miller. But yeah, it's a position that we needed filling. It was pretty much, I think, a like for like young guy, 24 years old. I think. What did we get him for? About $1 million? Is that right?
Yeah, 750, 1 million between those two.
750, 1 million. Put it this way: I'd much rather have Lewis Miller for 750,000 than Joe Rankin Costello for $1 million. So I think it's a good bit of business that we did over there. So Lewis Miller, I think exciting. If he can be half the player that Lucas Neal was, I think we've got a winner there.
Yeah, hey, the pedigree of the Australians that we've had over the years. We've had, of course, Brett Emerton's main standout for me, maybe a little bit before your time, Jacob. But we had him. We had Lucas Neal, who was also fantastic. I know we kind of had a little bit of a bitter pill with him, how he left Blackburn Rovers. But for most parts, the Socceroos that pulled on the blue and white halves tended to be pretty decent, bar maybe the odd one. But meanwhile, we also picked up the Belgian De Nevre, and we saw him in action at Everton. Are you happy with what you see with him so far, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, he seems a tidy player. Obviously, it was a nice finish as well in the right area when he tucked it away. I mean, is he versatile, Dirk? Because I thought when we signed him, he was kind of a left-sided defender, but I mean, he's been playing on the left wing, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was. Well, what I noted from him when we were linked was that he could play at left wing back, but he's been played further up the field, and I guess that's where they see him for being a left winger. Competition for Cogbo up top there, but a goal on his I won't say his debut. I don't think it was his debut. It might have been his debut, but yeah, interesting. Like Rudy said, interesting way to tackle the transfer window by exploring players that may not necessarily have been playing in the positions that they're going to play for Rovers. So
I mean, all I can say is watching him is he doesn't look out of place there on that left side, and I'd much rather have him there than Orion Edges, that's for sure, from what I've seen. So
yeah,
it can only be an improvement. And also, I think looking at the personnel that we've brought in, there's definitely been kind of a conscious effort to raise the height of the squad. There's a lot of these lads we're bringing in are quite big lads. I look at some of the midfielders we've brought in; they all seem a lot bigger in terms of their stature as well. So maybe this is kind of Ishmael's kind of way, and I'm assuming there's going to be a bit more of a push towards being better at set pieces and things this season.
let's move on forward to a couple of other transfers. We've got Ryan Ablosu. Not much to know about this guy. I know he's a ex Arsenal academy guy. Played his football. He was actually signed. He signed for the same club De Nevre was playing for, Kutrich out in Belgium. But he actually spent last season over in Scotland, I think with St Mirren. And before you even knock the old Scottish football, the season prior, Owen Beck was up there and he ran the show at left back up at Scotland. Well, I think he was in the team of the season. So high hopes for this guy. Another shrewd move by Rovers, Jonty.
It's the unknown, isn't it? He's a right back, apparently. He's come across from Belgium. He's been into Scotland. So, yeah. Like I say, it could be just that rough diamond that we're looking for at right back to fit in nicely with the void that Callum Britton has left. So, but I mean, whoever goes into that right back position, they've got some big boots to fill, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of feel sorry for them. But let's hope Ryan's the man to take us forward, sort of thing. I don't know. It's going to take. We can't judge these players on the first 2 or 3 games either. So if they don't look up to much in the first 2 or 3 games, then it's going to take a bit of time to adapt to a very, very tough league. We've said it before. The Championship every season just gets harder and harder and harder. Normally, the 3 teams that have come up, they're going to be flirting with relegation or at least mid-table, and you'd like to think that you take at least 4 points out of those kind of games where your Birmingham and Wrexham. I'm sure going to be moving on to this, and I'm stealing my own thunder for later. But your Birmingham's, your Wrexham, I personally don't think they're going to be looking down the relegation barrel. So. But back to Ryan, yeah, could be a shrewd move. In Rudy, we trust. He's to be fair to Rudy Gestede, a lot of the players that he has brought in over the period of time that he's been here has been pretty good. To be fair, I guess Rudy's probably had his doubters at times, but no, I think he's done all right with signings. And you watch some of the Rovers videos when they do that, and you watch them coming into Brockhall as well, and. Rudy's there. He's high five, and it's almost like he's been on a bit of a journey to get his man, and he genuinely looks delighted. So, let's. I think like I say, the hardest thing for me is just how are they going to adapt to a very, very tough English league sort of thing where you don't get a split second on the ball. You have to be absolutely on it every single game, don't you? If to progress. So, my biggest concern with all of these, with the exception of maybe just one, it's going to be really, really difficult to create songs about these guys, chants. So, yeah, it might be a tough gig, that one, but that's somebody else's problem, isn't
it? It is. Holmes, a couple more here before we, at the end of this, we're going to you're going to grade our transfer winners. So start thinking about your grades between A for amazing and F for fantastic. What's up?
Just a quick one, Dirk. I just want you to ask Jonty if he uses the same logic for Big Mac last season. Give him a few games before he made his mind up on him. Can you pass that message on?
Did you hear any of that, Jonty?
No, nothing.
He said, "Did you use the same logic as you did last season when you judged Makdar Gay? Blah 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 blah, something like
that." Who was that for? For which player?
For Gay.
Big Mac Makdar Gay. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, did I use the same theory about?
Yes, the same logic.
Giving him time to settle in.
Yeah. Any logic on that?
Okay. No logic whatsoever.
All right, a couple more here quickly before we move on to changing topics here. We got Sidney Tavares, Portuguese guy again. I think he might have a British passport. I think he's kind of snuck in that way. We saw a little bit of him at the Dutch game on the weekend. Possibly a guy for next season. Well, I think he'll play. We spent the most money on him. Excited for what you can get out of him.
Listen, let's see. I suppose in Rovers terms, this is our big money signing for the season. I think it was just under £2 million for him. So, yeah, let's see what he can do. Central midfielder, needed to bolster up that part of the team. Although, in fairness, we need to bolster up the whole team. But yeah, let's see how he performs. I hope he has a good season. But I mean, for me, as Jonty said, there's a lot of unknowns this season. So
it's just strange, Dirk. Sorry, Holmes, to cut you off. Go on.
No problem.
I was just going to say, it just seems strange to me that our big money signing is signing a midfielder when he's going to have a real tough time getting in that team over Travis and Tronstad if both of them stay. Like, to spend $2 million, which, as you just said, Holmes, is a lot of money for us. As depressing as that is, it's just like it seems so daft. And I would as soon have spent that money on getting a winger. I mean, like, how many times Ryan Hedges had to play last season, even though he was absolute crap for most of the season, if not all of it. And we were just begging for a winger, and we've gone and spent $2 million on a position that we've got two of the best midfielders in the Championship in our team.
Yeah, well, actually, if you had, today, fresh off the plate at the bat, it does look like more money, even more money is going to be spent on that winger. And there's a couple of names banded about, and it does look like it could be a Japanese fella that used to play for Birmingham. He's now playing back in the Bundesliga. So over 2 million could be spent on him. Fugurashi or something his name is, just rolls off the tongue. So he could be coming in with more money. So one more. This is on you, Jacob. I know it's not much to work off of him, but it's the Axeman, Axel Henriksen. A lot of Swedish people, like if I did a video on him, like I do on all the signings, and there's a lot of views on this, a lot of comments, a lot of his old club fans are very sad to see him go. This could be a bit of a steal in the end, and again, a player that's probably going to find it difficult to get in the team originally, but Cantwell 2.0 potentially, or Buckley replacement. I don't know, but
Sigurdsson.
Yeah, Sigurdsson maybe. No, he's a central guy who plays down the center of the park. But a lot of the Swedes are sad to see him go, and could be a steal for us in the end.
Is it Jacob though? Is that who the picture is? Because look at that.
It does look like Jacob.
They
doesn't
could be
it?
brothers.
Yeah, it is. It's actually his twin. more gifted on the pitch to win potentially. So, Jacob, what's your comments on your brother here? Good-looking
Well,
chap, right? Good-looking chap, right? That's what you're going to say.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's my dad must have nipped over to Sweden at some point. But yeah, I mean, I think this one is a position where we probably did need someone. I mean, I think Todd at times last season. Here he is.
Keep going.
I think Todd at sometimes last season definitely needed that competition. So I think to have someone come in and be breathing down his neck now is definitely a good thing. I mean, obviously, Todd only chipped in with a goal and up and playing the second to last game, was it? You know what I mean? Which just wasn't good enough. His shooting at times was very poor. The amount of goals he should have finished the season with should have been a lot higher. Let's say that. So look, it's a true bit of business. We're obviously trying to do the whole Brentford thing with Moneyball and whatnot, aren't we? Try and pick up these hidden gems, and hopefully one season we can just miraculously get into the playoffs like Brentford did, and I think finally then the owners would sell up. So yeah, let's just hope that these are diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, that's what I think we're all pinning our hopes on. It might work out. We never know. Anyway, so 6 signings coming in, a couple of big names going out. Jonty, how would you grade our transfer window out of A for amazing, B all the way down to F being catastrophic?
Dirk, have you talked about Britain?
We have not. I didn't have the thing.
This is going to be controversial.
Hang on one second, Jotty. It was, matey boy Jacob chipped in there with. I know you can hear it. Talk about Callum. We'll talk about him afterwards. Let's grade the transfer business on players coming in. Jonty, over to you. We'll talk about Britain in a bit. Jonty, your sort. The floor is yours.
You've just changed the goalpost there because you said about the transfer players coming.
Yes, coming in.
Yeah, you were just saying about you changed the goalposts coming in, because up until that point, if you just said grade the transfer window so far, at the minute I'd say it is a B, but that's based on people like not losing Lewis Travis or Tronstad or other players that have been where other clubs have been circling around. So, but if we're only basing it so far on the players that are coming in, then I think it's a C. I'm going to sit on the fence and say it's a C, because a lot of these names are unknown. A bit like what everybody else has done. I've read some of the comments about the outgoing player from their club coming into our club, and a lot of them do seem a little bit gutted that they've left that, which is a good sign. But again, it's a championship. It's it's a tough league. It's quicker. It's you've got to be stronger in this league. It's back-to-back games as well. You've got the lovely weather of Blackburn to look forward to in November as well. So all of these things will be a test for you guys coming in from Portugal as well. So at this moment in time, it's a C. But if we include the players that have not left the club, I mean, with the exception of Callum Britton, that's the biggest disappointment of leaving the club. Then it would be a B so far. For me, the main point now is to retain as many of the players that we've got. And then remember, we've got the loan as well. We seem to do all right with a couple of Liverpool or Man City connections as well coming into the club. So, we might be able to pick up a little rough diamond again in that lot, like a Harvey Elliott or somebody like that. So B or a C.
Okay. Holmesy, what you got for me? Grading the transfer window as a players coming in so far.
Yeah, I mean, Jonty took the words out of my mouth there, especially with the loans. I think up until this point, with who we've got in, I'd say it's a B minus, C plus B minus. So slightly more optimistic than Jonty there. And, with, say we get this Japanese fellow from the Bundesliga, I think that could be a good bit of business there, right winger, sorely needed. As Jacob also said, get Hedges out of the team, provide some competition on that side. But yeah, what once we've got those transfers set up. I think one point that we should mention, and where we've lost a lot of players over the last 3 or 4 years through contract running out, not being able to re-sign them. Obviously, with Waggett moving on to greener pastures or wherever he's happened to go. I'm just presuming he's grazing in a field somewhere. But yeah, I think what Rudy's done now is he's trying to get guys onto contracts. If you're not going to sign those contracts, it's time for you to move on. The Dolans, whatever it may be, and let's get some consistency within the team. Every season we seem to have this thing where people were running out their contracts. So I hope that is becoming more of a priority. Keeping those players, getting them under contract, putting them under long-term contract, thinking ahead, not just panicking when the contract's about to run out. So if we can get that done, good signings coming in, and then just prop it up with a couple of loans, 2 or 3 good loans. Your Becks, your Harvey Elliott's is obviously the standout one there, and I think it can go up to a B plus if one get that right winger, a couple of good loans, and could have a B plus, which I don't think we've had for a while.
Agreed. Jacob, your take on the window?
I'm going to give it a B. I'm going to give it a B, Dirk. I mean, obviously, as we've all kind of said, a lot of unknowns. We're not really knowing what we're getting from any of these players, bar maybe, McLaughlin, who from the whole fans are sorry to see him go. Obviously, the rest of them are coming from foreign leagues, aren't they? So I guess we don't know until they're on the pitch. But what I would say is I'm very happy that we've done the business a lot earlier this season. Seasons gone by, we were always just leaving it lastminute.com. The season's already underway, and then we're bringing players in. They don't have the pre-season to settle in and get to know the players and whatnot, and then they're just playing catch up. So I'm very happy that this season it seems like we've done 80% of our business or so before we even kicked the ball. Whereas last season I think we'd got Yuki and Matt through the door in the pre-season, and then we were bringing in players after that. Your Todd Cantwell's, for example, coming in when the season was underway. So I'm a lot happier this season in that regard, and it does seem like Rudy is more on top of it. So I'll give him his flowers there, and yeah, let's just hope that these gambles have paid off.
Indeed. And I'm just for argument's sake, I'll just chuck mine in there, and I'll probably. What am I going to do with then? I'll go with a C plus. Not an equals. What the heck's I got this world's smallest keyboard. Upgrade my keyboard. C plus. I'm excited by the new guy Axel. I think he's going to be a star player. Concerned a little bit about the right backs. I like the Aussie, the Ryan fella. Not too sure about him right now. McLaughlin was an anticlimactic kind of signing. Yes, he does fit the mold of left-footed centre back, but I was excited about some of the names that were linked. There was a guy called Koulibaly or something playing out in Poland, and I was really hopeful that we'd pick him off because he would have been, I think, a Premier League kind of centre back, and we just wouldn't budge on the price. So. In honesty, I'm excited about the Aussie. I'm excited about the Swede coming in there, but I still want to see some extra reinforcements up top. So that is that, and I do believe we have fixed the audio issue. And you can hear everything you're saying now, Jacob. So no more slagging off John T, because he's back now, so you can watch your P's and Q's. All right, so that was a bit of the fun there, the old transfer window, but now. Because it's our 150th year, we're going to do a bit of a tier list system. Oh, yes, we are. We're going to rank the Blackburn Rovers home kits. Oh, yes, we're going to roll back the years. We're going to do them one by one, going all the way back in reverse chronological order. And if we're going to start with Holmesy, because he's there left to my right. I'm not doing it because I've done my own video on this before. Your answer is the answer. Okay? and there's a bunch of them. So we're going to roll through these. So, Holmesy, yeah, go for it.
Can I just caveat this? Can I caveat this with because I think the biggest influence on a shirt sometimes is how we performed in that season,
Right.
or what player you associate with that. So let's are we saying here, Dirk, that we're only basing it on our love for the actual shirt and not the memories that go with it?
The love for the shirt. The love for the shirt. How
come on.
How sexy it looks.
I think you've got to throw in the memories in there.
No, memories are out the way.
Because it does make a shirt iconic.
Well, maybe, and hey, what?
It's a blue and white halves. Yeah, there's not a lot you can do with them.
Well, there is. You'll see. You'll see the bit of a variety in the blue white halves, but and there is some real horrific ones, some hideous ones. So you go in for the sexiness of the shirt, and you get an easy one. You get an easy one. You get the first one, the new one. What do you think? Where's that go in your column?
Oh. Yeah. I've been struggling with this one because I've been looking to get a shirt this year, and obviously it's a big call. I've decided to wait with the memorabilia one. I like it. It hasn't struck me as something that's fitting for 150th. I think they could have done something slightly different. I'll call it a B.
A B, good shout. Yeah, I think I would put that amongst all the other shirts. Yeah,
but it's okay. It's not a bad shirt.
It's not a bad shirt. We have some. Jacob, you get another Rams bottom shirt here. This is the season prior, 24-25. Different collar on that bad boy. Where does that go?
Yeah, I mean, I like the red trim on the end of the sleeves, but the kind of pattern they did on the shirt wasn't as nice as some of the previous Macron ones, in my opinion. So I think B's too high for this season's shirt. I would probably put both of these in C, personally.
You're going to put this in C. Do you own any of these?
I don't, actually. I try and avoid the home kits. They're a bit boring most years.
A bit blue and white.
Yeah, a bit.
So Jonty gets this one. This was 23-24. The Vaporists on the front there. Totally wicked. Jonty, this is yours.
Yeah, I'm just. I think Jacob's controversial with C. I think last season's shirt was really, really well liked. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah,
you're controversial to me, John T, but this is where we are.
Oh. Yeah, clearly. So yeah, controversial for the other one. This was all right. I quite liked it, to be fair. I'm not a big fan of collars, but this was like a loose collar, so I'm going to chuck that into B.
B.
If you forget the sponsor, I'm not a big fan of the sponsor, but it's a B for me without the sponsor.
Gotcha. We're going to slide you. Jonty puts that one in the B. Just put that on record. Jonty puts that in the B. Okay.
Yeah.
Another one. We got another one by the old Totally Wicked. It's 22-23. Who does it remind you of, Holmesy?
Brereton Diaz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, an almost season there. Hey? I like the red trim on it, but it really is like the following seasons. Jonty's one with except they had the light blue, Cambridge blue there. I feel like that Totally Wicked in red just doesn't fit it. Yeah, I'd say D for me on this one. Not a fan.
Go for it. We got to be brutal. Can't all be C's and B's.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of shirts.
Again, hey,
there's 150 shirts to get through.
No, we're gonna. I think I knock it on the head around about 91. But this one here for Jacob.
Oh God, forgot about this one. Cover right.
They're Aussies.
I feel like I did buy this shirt, and I think I may have got it bought after, because it was halfway through the season. It got changed to Totally Wicked because Recover Right went. Bust or something like that. And I think it's got like the blue rose. If I remember, on the lower bit of the shirt, it's kind of engraved on the blue.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I did quite like this one. So considering I bought it and it's a blue and white one, I'm going to put it in A.
Hey, bloody hell! Wowza!
Yeah.
Shoosh. Well, yeah. It's your shows. We've got another recover right. 2020, 2021. Was this COVID year? This one's got John T's name all over it.
Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott.
Adam Armstrong.
Yeah, it's got Harvey Elliott, Adam Armstrong. Yeah, see, it's all coming out now, isn't it? But yeah, for me, I always prefer the V-neck collars. I'm not a big fan of the V-neck finished as opposed to the collars. It's got the red trim on it. I think it was Umbro were quite boring in the terms of the pattern inside the shirt. So at least Macron have done something slightly different. You know, they've ingrained either the rose or what else have they done on they've done a couple of different ideas behind that. So Umbro for me were a little bit boring. Yeah, they're a little bit boring. So I'm gonna go for a D on this one, I'm afraid.
D, nice. Variety. Holmesy, you get this one, which is stack all over, right?
Yeah, the toilet seat.
The toilet seat.
Yeah, you got the bed, 10 bed looks like the top of a
It
toilet
does.
Like,
now I see it. Oh gosh.
Oh yeah.
The
C.
toilet seat.
I've never heard that before. That's brilliant.
Once I heard it somewhere.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Can't unsee it. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, nothing spectacular.
Nothing spectacular.
Average. You're bang average.
Bang average.
Do you know what? I tried to get a chant going when we had that sponsor 10bet, because my chant was going to be, we've got 11 number 10s on the pitch. That makes sense?
Yeah.
11 number 10s on the pitch.
Yeah, we did.
But anyway, that's probably why it didn't take off.
Jacob, you also got a toilet seat to look at. A bit of a different shade of blue.
See, as much as I was just saying, it's just a blue and white shirt. I never really liked when we went with this shade of blue, to be honest with you. A lot of historians would say it's kind of sacrilegious to do that. So my great uncle being one of them. So I'm going to put it in F.
F. Woo! Down there. Nice.
And now it's got a toilet seat on it. I can't unsee.
I mean, the interesting thing on this shirt, they've bucked the trend twice. They went for the white on the right and instead of the blue on the right, and it's Cambridge blue of the navy blue.
Which again is sacrilegious.
Yeah, we don't do that. John T, you get, I think this is the promotion winning shirt, right? Is that right? Charlie Mulgrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad shirt. It's Umbro. Like I say, I'm always going to be a little bit biased because I'm not a biggest fan of Umbro. Because I also look at the training kit that goes along with it, and I thought the Umbro training kit was poor. I don't think the shirt quality for Umbro was that good either. It's probably the better of the Umbro shirts that we had, so I'm going to chuck it in C and sit on the fence like a Denver.
Like a Denver, indeed. Let's get in there. We got another Umbro right around the corner, and that's got Holmesy's name on it.
Relegation season.
Yeah.
Memories out the way. It's all about the taste. It's all about the look.
About the taste. I mean, I like the little V-neck. I like the little red trim on it, but also not really standing out as anything. That's just an average shirt. C.
All right. This one looks pretty cool coming at you. My own opinion.
The zebra clay, this one.
No, that's a little bit later on. Actually, the one after this one. But this one is this one. 2015, 2016.
Oh, the Nike.
It's a proper collar, that one.
Yeah.
To be fair, I did quite like the Nike shirts. It's got the red kind of the red bit down the side. It's definitely smarter than some of those Umbro ones, so I feel like I'm going to have to put it into B.
B. Yeah. Who does that remind you of, that shirt, by the way?
It's been for a long time now. What, maybe a Shane Duffy?
Oh, gosh. How about this one, Jonty?
That's Tom Kearney, that.
Yeah, Tom Kearney, Conway, that sort of thing. Is it me? If it's me,
yeah,
it's that lighter shade of blue. To be honest with you, this is going to be slightly controversial because I prefer the one that Jacob put in F to this one, because the one that Jacob put in F, that reminded me of one of the first seasons that I first started watching Rovers, when we had ICI Perspex and they did go for the lighter shade of blue. So that brought back a load of memories. But this one, no, it was just, for me, it didn't quite do it for me. This one's a D for me.
D.
I did actually quite like this one, but I think this might have been my first season ticket season, that one. So that might be why I kind of hold it in a bit higher regard. But yeah, it is weird seeing that blue on a Rovers shirt.
Holmesy, you got Jordan Rhodes, right? Jordan Rhodes shirt?
Yeah, Jordan Rhodes. Blue on the wrong side, which is quite weird. I mean, there's nothing too special about that shirt, but it is just a plain Rovers shirt. It's almost like nothing great there for me. For me, it's a D.
D. If you think that was plain,
just to let you know, that was one of my favorite shirts for a long time. So that I would have put that as a B plus, if not an A, simply because, I mean, I didn't get the RFS sponsor. Mine was just a plain one, but it was more the material of it and the color of it. The actual blue in real life is absolutely amazing. So that is actually one of my favorite shirts for a long time, to be fair. So I would have put that as an A. But yeah, I agree with you. When you look at it on as a little picture on here, it is quite boring. But yeah, without the sponsor, it's
in real life, it makes a
shirt.
difference.
It really is.
Yeah,
when you didn't have to get a sponsor on a shirt.
Well, I like this one. 2012, 2013.
Because no one wanted to sponsor us.
Yeah, we were mud back then. Well, still are mud, but we were mud.
Just reminds me, who was that Liverpool guy? The guy who came from Liverpool to steal a wage.
You're about Leon Back.
Danny Murphy.
No.
Danny Murphy.
No. Danny Murphy.
Yeah.
Danny Murphy.
Oh right, yeah, of course. Dixon a two.
Oh, miserable.
Oh, that's dreadful.
Yeah.
Let's get this over with. Come on, somebody pick it in.
Crap in it.
Where are we going? F?
Yeah.
F.
Nothing to say about it, really.
Nothing to say. Well, it doesn't get much easier, John T.
Yes. Umbro really, really didn't try with that one, did they? They basically just found two pieces of material and put it together.
Wasn't much better the year before.
Yeah, just boring. The material was shite. I'm just not a big fan of Umbro, so I don't think it quite warrants the F, because the blue was quite nice on this shirt, but it's certainly one that you'll quite easily forget. So D for shit.
D for shit. All right.
Am I mistaken in saying that was our relegation shirt?
I think it might have been this next one.
Okay. Funny enough, that's the last home shirt that I bought was, that's a long time ago. I'm definitely due a new shirt.
Yeah, I got this one here, relegation one, signed behind me. I think it's relegation.
That's the season before we got relegated.
Oh, this is the season before, so maybe
this is Roque Santa Cruz's shirt, man.
Is it? Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is Roque Santa Cruz.
Who's on this? Holmesy, is this yours?
No, it's Jonty, isn't it?
No, Jonty did the D for
Oh,
shit.
yes. I mean, besides that a hideous big sign in the middle of the shirt, I suppose it also reminds me a bit of the 2019 shirt with that collar, except it had a bit of red trimming. Um, you see, this is the problem when nostalgia kicks in and you remember the Roque Santa Cruz years, him banging in the goals, and us being a solid Premier League side battling for the top half in the Premier League. You just can't help but look on these shirts more favorably, can you? So, but if you just look at it at a face value, you think that crown paint sign just absolutely kills the shirt. D.
There's a lot of D's. There's a lot of D's down here.
Yeah,
Was it not also
gotta be
Umbro?
brutal.
There was one season. There was one season where they launched our away shirt, and it was an exact replica of another club that they made the kit for. It might have even been Bournemouth, and it was just exactly the same shirt, but they just changed the badge on it. And I think Rovers had it one season with Umbro, and then they changed it, and it went to Bournemouth, and it was literally, Jacob, you're shaking your head as usual. So go on, fill me in. Not literally.
No. I'm shaking my head because it's ridiculous. But I think it was when I think we had the away kit black with red stripes, and then I think Bournemouth's home kit the season later was the black with red stripes or something like that. I think that's what you're on about, isn't it?
Yeah, Joe Rothwell had the same shirt. I think he had the same shirt at
Yeah.
Rovers. He left Bournemouth and he was like, "Oh, I've got the same shirt again."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
next? Where were we? We were on this. 2009-10. Jacob's on this one.
Jacob.
Yeah, I think that's it's nicer than the last one just because of the red. I prefer when we've got a bit of red on there. Red's my favourite colour though, to be fair, so I am biased, but I'll probably go with I'll go with B.
B. Go with B. Wow, the Umbro and the crown just keeps on coming. 2008-2009. Umbro crown. Jonty.
Yeah, nice colour on it. Is that the shirt where David Dunn scored against Burnley, or was that the one after that? But anything that has a bit more of a V-neck collar, I'm slightly better with. Like Holmesy said, the crown paint kills it, you know. But nice shade of blue. I've got all of these shirts, by the way. I think I've bought every home shirt since God knows when. But they're just in a box upstairs, hopefully making money at some stage when we're big and famous again. I'm going to go with a C. I'm going to sit on the fence. It's not minging, but it's not amazing, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll go in there. C. All right. A bit more variety now. Holmesy, we got this 2007-2008. Bet 24.
Bit different.
I must be honest, I do like this shirt with those little brings back memories. I'm giving this a B. This is David Bentley's shirt. I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, smashed a hat trick against United in it.
Yeah, is this not Benny McCarthy era?
Is it Benny McCarthy?
I don't know. I'm just saying. Is it that around about the time Benny McCarthy?
Yeah, I think Benny McCarthy was slightly after that.
Okay.
Also campaign era.
I don't know. I can't remember the numbers, but yeah. So what did you say? Did you say B? I just put it in B. Did you say B?
Yeah, I said B.
Okay.
I like it.
This one, I don't know if the photo does it any favors, but 06-07, it looks massive.
With the Lonsdale.
Yeah, it looks like Jonty's size, this one.
Oh, come on. I don't know, walloping him on the Saturday.
Jeez.
I'm going to put it in C and just carry on laughing to myself.
Dear me. C. I think I have that one as well. I have a lot of these ones here, this era. Okay, next one, another longs. Well, this one's Craig Bellamy. Got a Craig Bellamy vibe.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Ugliest Sin reminds me of Jacob. Put it in F. I hated Lonsdale. I hated
Oh, but they were such
Lonsdale.
good time.
Yeah, Lonsdale for me was just and still is a bit of a
Lonsdale
chavvy
sponsored by
brand.
Lonsdale.
I hear you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a chavvy brand in my opinion. So I hated all the Lonsdale stuff. It's probably, in fact, I say I brought a load of home shirts. I don't think I might have bought one Lonsdale. It was, yeah, I hated it. Didn't like it.
You don't see Lonsdale at all anymore, do you? That hasn't been around
No.
for like a decade.
Maybe in Sports Direct might still be in there.
Mm.
Here you go, Holmesy.
Is this a 2-guy shirt?
Yeah, it was around about that at that time, I think.
Yeah. Nice little red trims there. Obviously, you don't have the backstory on Lonsdale, so I don't know how chavvy it is, but it was okay. It's probably slightly clouded by those days, those memories, but it's average shirt. Wouldn't say it's anything special. Probably a D.
D. All right, nice.
It was a dodgy blue, wasn't it? That particular shirt.
Yeah, it's off.
Yeah.
It's off color, isn't it? It's like not.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Bit of style. Bit of Italian magic. Kappa.
Now
Is it?
now
Who is it?
talking.
Oh, it's Jacob, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen a Rovers shirt look like that, so I'm gonna have to put it an A just for that because it's something unique. And we're crying out for a bit of that nowadays, aren't we, with a Rovers shirt?
Yeah, the problem with these shirts, the kappas, where they stick to you like you've been spray painted on your belly. It's like, like skin tight.
I'm
but they
fine
are.
with that.
Yeah, luckily back then when these shirts came out, I weighed about 70 kgs with a 6-foot frame, so it wasn't much belly. So I didn't mind a little tight fitting shirt there.
Yeah. But John, you don't get out of it. It's another one. This is the Kappa era.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it. I just didn't like the AMD processes. I think my favourite shirt or one of my favourite shirts is coming up. So, yeah, this has got Gary Flitcroft written all over it, hasn't it? People like that. So, yeah, I again, a little bit different. I don't think it's an A. I'd put that into a B.
B. I like this one. I think I like the AMD because I'm a computer nerd. I like that. It's pretty cool. I'll probably spend good money on that right now. Okay, next one. Oh, not these computers though. These were shit. The computers were shit. Time computers. I think that's.
Worthington Cup win.
Don't pass go. Straight into A. Love
Straight
this
into
shirt.
A.
This is my favorite all-time shirt. Had it and got fucking stolen. Sorry for swearing. I don't know. You can edit that out.
All good.
They got fucking stolen out of my room, and I was so disappointed. Favorite shirt of all time. Won the
How good that shirt is. It got stolen.
Yeah, I love this shirt.
Well, I love it. Let's just put that. We're going to put it here for 1 second because it looks like we had that same shirt for 2 seasons running. So
yeah, we did.
So,
it was that good.
It was that good.
It was that good.
So it's a different photo, but it's the same bloody shirt. So
yeah,
get rid of that one. Into the A.
There's a club in the Premier League who do that, don't they? Is it Brentford?
Brentford these days, yeah, doing it, trying to, which I kind of think is a good move. Kind of. Anyway, John T. I think the only time, actually no, I think we also did this shirt back to back. It's a Central Crest. Now I'm not a fan of Central Crest, but hey, it's not my thing.
On
Isn't
the home
that me, Dirk?
It is you, Jacob, but looks like John T's quite touched on this one. Maybe.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. We'll both go. It's unique because it's a central crest. which on the home shirt is pretty unique. I quite like this shirt because I can still fit into it now. Thankfully, I bought the triple XL because I was a fat kid as well, and I can still fit into it. So that's my only reason. But no, I'll let Jacob make the call as to where it's going.
I'd put that in A, just for the central crest. Again, it's something a bit different. I mean, obviously we saw it recently with the third kit, the pink one being a central crest, but I've never seen a Rovers shirt with a central crest. So it's nice to see these little unique ones sprinkled in there.
Yeah, I got that one behind my head in a frame, so it's pretty cool. So again, this is another 2-year shirt, so I'm just going to delete that guy. Next up, 97, 98. This is Jonty. Jonty's getting a crack at this one solo.
I mean, I still wear this shirt because it must have been a fat era for me. So I was, I still not even squeeze into it now. I fit quite comfortably into it. It's a lovely blue. It's a heavy old thing. The material's pretty shy, but I did like Asics or Asics, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I like it. No silly colour on it. It's a nice rounded shirt. Quite stylish. I'm going to put that in a B, Dirk.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, I got that. I got long sleeve of that bad boy. Still fits. So, yes. Again, 2 years on that one.
Nice. Reminds me a bit of Chris Sutton, this shirt.
Chris Sutton, Kevin Gallagher, maybe.
After Kevin Gallagher, after Shearer had left us.
Yeah. 95, 96. Holmesy.
Yeah, you know where that's going, Dirk. Don't need to say anything else.
Yeah, but is it the same as? Well, actually, it does say champions on there, right? So that's got to go up there, really, surely. I know we're not doing memories,
yeah,
but I don't think we're going to see that again. We should stick a big old, the star up there. That's what we should have, star. Something anyway. Let's not paper over the cracks. So technically, we have the 94, 95, which does look like the 95, 96. But without the champions under there. Do we want to grade that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it both up in A.
We should. That's Jacob's score.
A plus. A plus.
So that's going to go there.
Yeah, it's just iconic, isn't it? And I mean, also the sponsor being red just goes nicely with the badge as well, doesn't it? So
yeah,
it is just iconic.
See, I agree. I think it does. I'm not usually a fan of the white background. I'm a fan of this. Is what Rovers did in 93, 94 with the McEwen's lager. There's no box around it, but I don't know if I like that at all. But anyway, that's Jonty. Jonty, your call on this one.
Yeah, I mean, great memories in the shirt, but I didn't actually like the shirt. I think my brother still has it. It's a C. The blue was a little bit weird on this shirt. It was a funny blue, or maybe it was just a pattern inside it. But yeah, it was a funny blue. I think my favourite shirt of all time, though, I once nicked a shirt. It was a time one, the one with a time computer. I nicked it from a hostel, and I've still got that one now.
I nicked this one from South Africa. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Yeah. All right. So that last shirt was also a 2-year one, 91, 92, 93. So I'm going to delete that. Holmesy, we're going a little bit retro now. It's coming to an end. 91, 92.
Jesus.
Sorry, can we just all take a moment to realize that Jacob wasn't even a thought in this universe when these shirts were coming out? And
twinkle in his dad's eye, or something along those lines.
Barely a twinkle.
Yeah.
I like this shirt. I like the retro look of it. I'd give it an A. I mean, if that came out now, I'd buy it.
Yeah, we don't see, I know we see a lot of the 94s and the whatever. We don't see many people rocking that shirt, so it's got a rare.
Yeah, I've never seen that shirt. That looks extremely retro to me.
Yeah, but we'll wrap it up.
Was that not the season we got promoted into the Premier League?
Yeah,
for the first time?
that is promotion winning shirt.
I've got this. I've got it at home. It's an amazing shirt because again the detail in it, it's just got little ripples inside it. It's honestly, last time I wore that to a Rovers game, somebody went, "Is that the original?" I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "Did you buy it off eBay?" I said, "No, it was mine." I said, "I honestly, I bought this. It's mine," and what have you. The guy went, "I'll give you 200 quid now for it." I went, "Nope." Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the next one, the final one, it's actually been redone. They relaunched this one recently. It's the 1991 Perspex one. I think Jonty talked about it. I think.
Hey.
Wow.
Even though it contradicts what I said about the colour, and again, it's just such an
The colour and the collar.
The colour and the collar, yeah, exactly. It contradicts everything about what I've said before, but it's just maybe I'm just going off my emotional intelligence or lack of intelligence, but just emotion, shall we say? It's just absolutely phenomenal. I think it is because I remember my mum buying me this shirt, and I got it for Christmas. Do you know what I mean? And I was absolutely buzzing off it. I was never a full kit wanker, so I didn't have the shorts and the socks. I just had the shirt, but I just wore it day in, day out. Unfortunately, I don't have that one in my collection. I don't know where it went. I think some dude in South Africa nicked it. So that's why I got the time one. But
there's some guy with a fantastic collection in South Africa.
Yeah.
Just waiting for Rovers to hit the big time once again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, hopefully in about a month's time or so, we'll do the away kits because that gets a bit more spicy, a bit more crazy.
Yes, that'll be exciting.
And a lot more variety. But we're not, the interactiveness doesn't stop there, folks. We are going to pick our starting 11 for this coming match against West Bromwich Albion. Again, I'm not doing it. You guys are doing it. Position at a time. Holmesy, who's your goalkeeper going to be for this match against West Bromwich Albion? Who do you want? Do you want Pears in there? You want Toff in there? You want one of the young kids coming in here? Toff gets your spot. Let me.
He is my spot. He finished off the season strong. I think end of last year. I think he's the number one. I think he's had a season of British football behind him now. I think he's going to be number one in front of Pears. The thing with Pears is he always, every now and again, he has a stormer of a game, and you think, geez, he's not too bad, this guy, but you never feel fully safe with him in goal. And I think that even started with those days when we had Kaminsky there, and then Pears would come in, have one or two howlers, then have a good game, but you always felt safe with Kaminsky, never with Pears. And I think maybe it's just my bias, but yeah, I never feel safe with Pears in goal. I think there's a mistake waiting to happen.
Okay, well let's make it a little bit interesting. Jacob, pick your position. Who do you want to nail down in this 11? Who gets your call? First name on the team sheet for you.
First name on the team sheet would be Mr. Consistent, Dom Hyam at the back.
Dom Hyam.
Played every single minute last season, didn't he? Something daft.
Something like that, yeah. So, any complaints from him, from anybody else? No. Jonty, who's your next name on the team
chosen?
Sheet?
Everybody broke up.
We've got Toff between the sticks. We've got Dom Hyam, centre back. Who is your choice? Who's your, if it's not named already, your first name on the team sheet for West Brom?
John Buckley. It's got to be. I'm joking. I think it's Ohashi. I think it's got to be Ohashi for me, especially how lively's look pre-season as well. So yeah, Ohashi.
Ohashi straight in there. Okay, Holmesy, you're next on the dock, or Oki, or is that what they call it in the old darts? Who's your next name on the team sheet here?
Sorry, I'm plugging in my computer here. I'm gonna pick Tronstad. Next name on the he's got to be one of the first names picked. Obvious starter. We're a much better side when he's fit and available, and he's playing and he's bossing that midfield. So
he gets your vote. Okay, Jacob.
Yeah, his partner in crime, Travis. He'd be next on this team sheet, straight in. And you'd think you'd need both of these going to the Hawthorns. first game of the season. It's not going to be an easy game by any means, you'd think. So put the 2 DMs in there and let's try and steal 3 points.
All right. John T, it's getting a bit more difficult now. You're up, John T. Next name on the sheet.
Oh, no. Right, sorry. I don't know what's going on with this. Who else would I have? Who've we got at centre back so far? I can't see him.
Dom Hyam. That's it.
Dom Hyam. Okay. Got Travis Tronstar. You know what? I'm going to be, again, slightly controversial because I've liked the look of him pre-season. He looks a little bit better than what he was, and he's had some good games. I'm going to say Cantwell. I think Cantwell's going to have a good season.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for him his second season.
Yeah.
And if he stays fit, I think he is going to be very, very important. Very important for Rovers.
Yeah,
you've surprised me there, Johnson.
Could not
be surprised me.
Well, I've been his biggest critic. I some people, have a great first season, then slow down. I think it's just going to be the polar opposite. I think, when you look at some of the videos that Rovers have been releasing of all the fun times that they've had in Spain and things like that, and all these little snippets of, the silly stuff that they've been doing, sticking Mac Targay pictures on the back of his colleagues and all of that. There looks a really, really good team spirit, and we've not seen videos like this come out of Blackburn Rovers for a long time. We've seen a lot of doom and gloom, and Todd Cantwell looks completely relaxed. I hope he's going to have a really, really good season. He's going to be back to the Todd Cantwell that was, loved and cherished at Norwich City. But I could be completely wrong, and I guess I've surprised myself with that. But I don't know. I've just got a funny feeling that he could have a blistering season.
Let's hope you're right. Holmesy, I think you're next up. It's getting slim.
Yeah, so let's. Oh no, yeah. Let's bring in one of the new boys. Right back, Lewis Miller. I mean, I don't think that there's much competition for him at the moment. I think hopefully he'll be able to slot right in there, do a good job.
It is him, I promise you. Even though the picture doesn't look like him, they're just getting developed right now. I think, and unfortunately, I do think he might have a knock, so that might restrict him from playing. It's like 50-50. It's like 50-50. But hey, let's just for argument's sake say he's fit.
He's fit.
Let's just say. Jacob, you're next up.
I'll be boring and I'll go with Ribeiro at left back. I'd be picking him over Pickering. I think anyone who watches this podcast regularly knows my thoughts on Pickering. So I'll stick Ribeiro in there before John T puts Pickering there.
Yeah, it's a bit of like a chess match, really. You got to get in there before someone else stakes your claim. That's a good call. Okay, John T, you're next up. Getting a little bit more decisive.
Yeah, I mean, Cargbo, I think, has to be a name on the team sheet. He's looked exciting pre-season. The glimpses that we saw of him last season. As long as the guy can stay fit, again, I'm quite excited. And I think this is what sort of propels my Cantwell is because the players in and around him. Again, it's all about keeping your Travises, your Tronstads, the guys that do the ugly stuff brilliantly. But we need these creative players like your Cargbos, your Cantwells, or Hashiel dropping deep to collect the ball and what have you. So, yeah, Cargbo. I love that little move that he does. He just before he goes on a little sprint, he does it's like a tick. I think I've mentioned it before. It's like a little bit of a tick, and then he sprints, and the guy's quick. So yeah, he could be. Yeah, he could make Tyrese Dolan look like a League Two player next season.
Again, let's hope you're right, because we could do with some people that can get off our seats. 2 remain, Holmesy.
Yes. So I think the centre back pairing is going to be vital. Is it Wharton?
You want Wharton in there?
I don't know. I think Sean McLaughlin, we spent a bit of money on him, a big centre back, left-footed, left side of the defence. I'd slot him in there.
You're going to the new guy, Sean McLaughlin?
New guy, McLaughlin.
Right. Again, he is there behind that silhouette.
Don't do it, Jacob. Don't do it.
What choice does he have? What choice does he have?
Vengeance.
What's his name? Igor.
Do I have his
Yeah.
picture?
Igor
I think I did
Tyjon.
have his picture, but
Igor Tyjon.
Yeah, surely,
I think-
Jacob.
I think Johnson's warning me not to put Big Mac there.
what about
never
Malarkey Matthews, a youngster? It was causing a storm in a couple of games. But
I mean,
hey, your choice.
I think if I had it my way, I'd probably put Deneve on the left and put Cardbo on the right. I think,
We can do that.
yeah,
thinking
although
that.
I do know Cardbo's side is the left side, so it's probably going to be bloody Ryan Edges on the right and Deneve on the left. That's probably what we're going to get. But
What?
if I had
You
it my
saying
way,
Ryan Hedges? Are you for real?
no.
Well-
I said that's what we're going to get. But I'd put Deneve on the left and put Cardbo on the right. If you can swap Cargabo over Dirk and put Deneve at left wing.
Will do. Just give me a second
And
here.
can you change your graphic and put a V West Bromwich Albion? Because at the minute it looks like that is a West Bromwich
Oh,
Albion team.
wow.
You know,
Yeah.
I know I'm being pedantic, but yeah,
I could do something in a minute.
yeah.
But hey, the joy doesn't stop here, people. Joy doesn't stop here. So this was the easy bit. So Denevra, Cardbo. Yeah, that's all pretty good. Okay, we've got some more interactivity coming at you in a minute, but that's your starting 11. Pretty good, of course. Let's take a look.
Is that going on Twitter, Dirk?
It could do. We're going to go. I've done this. So I've done this away. So this is going to be clipped. It's still going to be part of the big podcast, but we are looking post West Brom. We're looking post Bradford City. The next 6 matches are on the agenda here, on the graphic here. I want your points. I want your points total after West Brom. We've got Birmingham at home, first game at Ewood in the league. We've got Hull City away. Before the end of the month, we have Norwich City again at Ewood, Watford away, another one of Big Val's old clubs, Ipswich Town at home, and then Charlton JRC away down at the Valley. So, Holmesy, what is your points total as you eat? As you eat something? No, it's your dog. You could have been eating the dog. I don't know.
Hello, Ellie.
Hello, Ellie. Ellie, the Rovers fan. So what we got? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I can do maths. 18 points available. What are you going for here, Holmesy?
12.
12. He isn't even thinking about it. He's just going in there. Just chuck it in there. 12.
Well, no, I hadn't thought about it. I think 12.
Why is it not showing up on the thing? Okay, that's why. Okay, keep going. Jacob, what you got?
Also gone with 12. I'm going to say we draw to Birmingham. We beat Hull City away. They're not looking too good. Norwich at home, we win. Watford away, we'll draw. Ipswich at home, we'll draw. And then Charlton away, we'll win. Me being uber positive.
So you see, draw, win. Say that again. That's the way.
Draw,
So,
win,
yeah.
win, draw,
Yeah.
draw,
Okay.
win.
So okay, I see you. John T, higher or lower?
I think I'm broadly similar. Weirdly though, I think we'll beat Birmingham at home. I mean, they've sold out the whole Darwin end and they've given them more tickets, so that's going to be a full house. So I think we're going to beat. Knowing Rovers will do something stupid, so the outcome will be the same as Jacobs. But I won't be surprised if we don't beat Birmingham but draw at Hull City. Yeah, Norwich City, the beatable, obviously under new management, and this is the uncertainty, isn't it? So yeah, so where are we up to now? So whichever way we look at it, we're on 7 points. We'll beat Watford. We're due another win there, aren't we? So that's 7, and then draw at Ipswich, and I think a draw at Charlton.
So what does that add up? I'm not good at maths. I said I was good, but I've lost it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What did I say against Watford?
So what?
8, 9. Is it 12? I don't know. It's all up in the air, isn't it? It's the love of the
Basically, we're
championship.
getting 12 points, Dirk.
Yeah, he reckons. Okay, well, let me just do mine quick. I reckon draw Birmingham, we'll beat Hull. I think we'll draw Norwich, so that's 5. I'm going to say lose Watford. I know that's controversial, not against the flow of the room here. So that's 5. No, take that back. So we'll draw Birmingham, beat Hull, draw Norwich. We will win against Watford. Yeah. So 6, 8, lose against Ipswich. 8. I'm going to go 11 points. Yeah.
I think the main thing for me is Rovers fans. If let's say we just had a bit of a shitty start to the season, like, let's say we got beat at home to Birmingham, we lose away at Hull, that could open up this horrible tide again of Venky's and all that malarkey. So for me, it's really important that we get off to a good start. But if we don't, let's not panic. I mean, you look at somebody like Bristol City last season; they were shocking, for a lot of the season, and came good. And so many teams, if they stick together, I know it sounds a bit John Eustace like, but for me, let's not get off on the wrong. If the team get off on the wrong foot, stick together. None of this Venky's out and all that shite that goes along with it. We've got what we've got. Let's just support the team.
Indeed, and we'll talk about we didn't really talk about Gallenberg, but we will. We'll get there. It'll be the final, one of the final flurries here, because we've got a bit more fun. Of course, we did pick the start 11 for the West Brom team. I want you to pick the team for Bradford City in the Cup. Bit of variety, changing up a bit. A lot of French players going to get an opportunity. So this is where it all comes at you now, Holmesy. Do you go with pairs between the sticks? Do you want the youngster going in there? Do you want Toth to have it back-to-back games? Take it away.
Yeah, probably Piers. He hasn't had a lot of preseason, so if he is our second choice keeper this season, he's going to need to get a bit of game time. So nothing like the Carling Cup or whatever the League Cup is called these days. So throw in Piers.
Throw in pairs. Again, we could have done that a little bit differently, started. But Jacob, who's your first name on the team sheet for the Carling Cup here, or whatever it's called? Carabao Cup.
I think Pairs is on his way out, so I don't think it will be Pairs. Actually, I think he'll be a youngster. But if I was to chuck someone in there, I think I'd like to see Scott Wharton at the back. Good to see him back after over a year out and get some minutes in his legs and see how he's looking. Because there's definitely a gap there for him to break into the first team if he starts performing. He just needs to start making his mark now, doesn't he? He's no longer a young lad.
Yeah, it's definitely it's his time to shine. So I think it's either sink or swim moment, Scotty Wharton, especially with McLaughlin coming in now, and who knows, pressure is on. John T, who's your first name on team sheet, or who do you want to see the most in the Carling Cup, or whatever it's called, Carabao Cup? Who do you want to see given an opportunity to shine?
Buckley.
You want him in there for real?
100%. 100%. Yeah. But I mean, Scott Wharton, to be fair, against Everton, I thought he did really, really well.
He did.
So, but yeah, John Buckley, I know, it's not ideal for him. It wouldn't surprise me if Buckley left, because he wants first team football. Who doesn't? A bit like Joe Rankin Costello. But I'd be gutted if he went. But unfortunately, he's quite a bit down the pecking order at the minute, and I don't know why. He's not the kind of player, a defensive midfielder that does all that. For me, he should sit just in front of the an attacking central midfield. But yeah, he will be my first name on any team sheet, and just give him game time, as much of it as possible.
Yeah, I'm going to play this round, so I'm going to, because I want him in there, I'm going to put in the Swede, Axel alongside him in there, and have two sort of more forward-thinking players. See what he's like. Then maybe actually we'll put Buckley there on. Maybe I'm not picking the team for you, but may have one defensive midfielder. I don't know. Holmesy, it could be your choice.
Well, I want to see what our big money signing is going to do. So I'll throw Sydney Tavares in there.
Nice.
Give him some game time. Let him gel.
Swap Tavares and Axel. I've Buckley and Tavares as his two pivots.
Yeah.
Okay. All good.
I do think Buckley goes well, mate. I think him and Pears. I saw something on Twitter that him and Pears are a bit frustrated.
He still might play. He still might be here. Well, because it's only Tuesday. It's just right around the corner. I still think he will be here, and it will cup tie him though. So there's a chance that they might not play. But I think Smodic, did he play in the cup last year, League One?
He did. Yeah, he bangs 2 or 3 in against Salford.
Yeah, one of them.
Not Salford, Stockport.
Stockport. Yeah, he. So yeah. Okay. Jacob, you're next.
Probably a big Mac up top, isn't it?
Was it Harrogate last season as well?
Harrogate was the season before when we won like 8-2 or something, 8-1 or whatever
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Harrogate.
Yeah.
Harrogate. Yeah. Big Mac up top. Yeah. Okay. Jonty.
Did that one for you, Jonty. You were going to put him in, so I just beat you to it. You heard me.
If it's me,
it's you.
I didn't hear you. No, it's breaking up like you won't believe. So, I'll take it. It was something nice as normal. I'd probably, as much as I'm tempted to put our new right back in, I quite like the look of Montgomery. So I'd give him game time in the Carabao because I think your new man Ryan, he might start, as a substitute. So
luckily I had his picture ready, so he comes in good thought. So I'm still playing. I'm going to chuck in Malarkey Matthews. I know it's a wild card. No one knows much about him, but I saw him pre-season. I thought he was lively. I think this is a good audition for a loan for him. And he looks pretty good. Like size-wise, I know he's like, I don't even know how old he is. He's like 18, 19, but already he's got the stature of a player I'm quite like low-key excited about him. I really am. I'd get his name on my back, but it'll cost me like 70 quid because he's got about so many letters. So I'm excited about him. I'm telling you, Malarkey Matthews. I said something about this, like about Leonard or Vale one time. I said, "Oh, mark my words, Vale's going to come good," and he was shit. But Malarkey Matthews, I'm telling you, he looks a gem.
No, I'm getting hints of Joe Senna here.
So you've just
and
cursed
just
him
like, I hope he doesn't flop. Well, not that Joe Senna flopped, but yeah, he just obviously it didn't work out how we wanted it to, did we?
What do you call? Who were you saying? Joe Sennan? Who's that?
Joe Senna.
Yeah. Zach Gilson. Yeah. I got you.
I'm getting vibes of that with this guy. I'm hoping it isn't the same, but we'll see.
The problem with Zach Gilson was he I think he was on the books of Barcelona or something like that?
And Liverpool. I'm pretty sure.
He had a good sort of like academy time somewhere, so that's always going to be a hoodoo. Whereas Malarkey Matthews, I don't know if we swiped him from somewhere. I'm sure we did, but he doesn't have that hanging over his head. And I'm just. He looks good. He looks decent. He's pacey, strong. End product needs a bit of work, but yeah. Who's next?
For Jacob, I'm going to just put in Pickering there on the left-hand side of the fence.
He needs to play. He needs a couple of games.
No, he needs game time.
He does.
It's a long season. We're going to need the whole squad.
Indeed.
I'm struggling there, Dirk.
What we got? We got
Igor. It's got to be Igor. Igor Tyjon. We didn't put him in the other.
Yeah, he's got to be in there somewhere. But I would he's been featuring a lot, and I think he would probably play. I think he'd have to play at some early doors if we're going to keep him.
Yeah, put him. Surely he's got to be there.
Do you want to slide him in there?
I'll leave that one to you, John T. I mean, I don't see Tyjon as a winger, so I don't want to do it. I don't want to say Ryan Hedges there, so I'm just going to put Dom Hyam at the back.
Dom Hyam at the back, maybe wearing the captain's armband, perhaps in place of
Yeah.
Trout.
I mean, he literally played every minute last season, so there's no reason why he wouldn't play this game.
Yeah, is there? So are we gonna go for a Tijuan? I've got a picture.
Yeah.
So we will stick him in there.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. It's. I'm excited about this. Hopefully, it comes out close to this. And I think I think the only other player maybe a little bit hard done by, maybe Forshaw could have got some minutes in there somehow, or anyone else I'm missing.
I completely forgot we had Adam Forshaw, I'll be honest.
He's there, of course. He's going to be player of the season. You watch. Okay, so that's the main business. Let me get us all on the screen. Why has that gone a bit weird? There we go. So, okay, over the transfer window, we've brought in a nice few faces, and we've said goodbye to a few, including Callum Britton. Callum Britton did, we came in from Barnsley. I don't know what the fee was that we spent on him. I think maybe either $1 million or in and around about that fee, 1.5 maybe. But getting 3.5 million for a right back, I think this is his final opportunity really to get a move. Before the decline. Oh well, yeah, definitely for us, for his sake, but for the club's sake, but for his sake, before you're in that bracket of you're in your peak. So this is his move. I think he has a 4-year deal signed by Borough. So by the time that's done, it'll be 32 and definitely on the downward decline. But it is. When we look back turn the clock back to Sheffield United at the end of the season, did I think he would be going? No, I thought he would be. I thought he was going to be there, and I thought he'd played his best football for us last season. Big shoes to fill. Holmesy, what's your take on Callum Britton's departure?
Oh, I mean, it was. You're right. I think it was a little bit disappointing. I think talk of it started coming about halfway through the transfer window. But yeah, listen, I think it's going to be big shoes to fill. I think it's going to leave a bit of a hole in the right side of the defense there. I particularly like the way he could get the crosses in. He had a great right boot. So I think, I don't know how this Miller is, this Aussie is, but hopefully he can also send a cross in there. So, yeah, I thought he played well. He played his part for Rovers over the last couple of years. Out of all the players that have left, if we look between him and Dolan, I'm certainly more disappointed that he's leaving than Dolan. But it is what it is. We've seen better players than him leave Rovers, and we'll plug the gaps. We'll find new stars. So wish him well. Good luck at Middlesbrough. Is it an upward move for him? I don't know. For me, it feels a bit like a sideways move. It's not really going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So good for him. Hopefully, he got a bit of a pay bump in there, and we'll see how he does at Middlesbrough. And we've already filled the gap. We've 2.6 million up on the deal. In fact, probably 2 million up, considering we got 2 right backs now in the transfer window. So maybe that extra 2 million is gonna push for a right side attacking midfielder to come in, or a right winger who can also cross the ball in. So we'll get 3 players for the price of Britain. I think that's a fair deal.
Yeah. So, Jacob, this, of course, does buck the trend of recent established Blackburn Rovers players going for free. Of course, we lost Dolan, and of course, prior to that, we've lost Diaz and a few other.
Nyambe.
A lot of players that you would consider established. And we got 3.5 million on a player that was entering the final year of his contract. Is it who won? Who do you think we talked about this? I don't know if you were on at this point about Joe Rankin Costello. Who got the better end of the deal? Did Callum Britton get the better end of the deal? Did Rovers get the better end of the deal? Or did Middlesbrough get the better end of the deal?
It's a hard question. I'd say Middlesbrough just because I do think they've probably bought the best right back in the league. He's going to them at a good age. He's not young, but he's also not old. Like you said, he is kind of just coming into his peak years now. I think we've done well to get 3.5 million for a right back who was in his final year of his contract. But like I just said, he's probably the best right back in this league. Honestly, just going forwards, last season he was just brilliant at times, and I mean, like Holmesy mentioned, cross the ball so well, and we saw that in the friendly game against Everton. Just put it on a plate for Deneve. So we're losing an absolutely quality player, and it kind of does show where we are as a club. And his comments were quite telling, saying that he's coming to a club that are matching his ambitions as a player. And obviously, that just smacks us in the face as we're a club that are going nowhere in his eyes. And Middlesbrough are a club that are more ambitious than us, which we know. We know that Middlesbrough are more ambitious than us and obviously have more money to spend than us and whatnot. But yeah, it's a shame because I did really enjoy Britain. But I mean, you're saying, Holmes, about the fact we've got the money and whatnot. In that podcast with Big Sam, Rudy did kind of say that it doesn't matter how much money we bring in a transfer window. According to what Rudy said, the Venkies just give us a pot of money, and that's the pot of money. It doesn't get increased, it doesn't get decreased. It's just the pot of money. So, like when we sold Adam Wharton, I think people were thinking, right, we're gonna have a bit of money to play with here. The next season and whatnot. We've just sold Adam Wharton for 20 million or whatever. It didn't come. And I think even if we hadn't sold Britain, this money still would have been there. So it's annoying. We are being asset stripped. We are selling players on, obviously buying players cheap and selling them on. But that's just where we are as a club right now. And like I said before, we just need to hope that one season it all just clicks. These players who come in from the foreign leagues just hit the ground running, and we make playoffs and we get promoted and we finally get rid of the owners. But until that day comes, we are just going to be this club that is always selling our better players to opposition teams, and it shouldn't be that way. You look at the way it is with Middlesbrough. Most seasons we finish about the same position, just either just outside the playoffs kind of thing. I know Middlesbrough snuck in there a few times, but not really much between the two clubs. But now that's Lenny and Britain who saw Borough as a better opportunity for their careers rather than us, which is damning.
It is damning, but I think their owner is just more engaged with the club than ours, and again, it's just a bad time, Rovers, at the moment. But anyway, don't want to dig too deep into that. But Callum Britton does leave, pastures new. Since our relegation from the Premier League, have we had a better right back, John T?
I think what it's made me realise is how important the right back is. I haven't thought that for a long time. So no, I would probably say certainly in the last decade he has been our the best right back that there has been. And I just if you look at some of the players that we have lost over the last 2-3 seasons, if we could have retained those, we would have a genuine serious squad there. You like the Schmodics and even Blackburn Rovers, we should be as ambitious as signing your Owen Becks. Where's he gone now? Derby, is it? On loan again, sort of thing. So, he's joined up with the Snake. Just some of the good players that we've lost over the season, and we shouldn't be, as Jacob's already alluded to. We shouldn't be a selling club. We're just looking for that one season where just everything clicks. I've said it before, I'll say it again. We've got a decent squad. We're capable of the playoffs. We're established as well. Some of these players now have been playing for a decent period of time together. So, yeah, we should be, up there. But there's no guarantees in the championship. But long answer to your short question. No, certainly the last decade, nobody springs to mind. And I think for me, it underpins how important that right back position is.
Yeah, and we've got two new ones to kind of gauge over. It does feel like a changing of a guard, changing of a new fresh start for Blackburn Rovers. But there is some agonising questions that still need answers, and the sort of situations of some of our current sort of key players that we don't know what's going to happen with, or we maybe. I guess we don't know officially, but maybe we have concerns, and our concerns are probably all aligned. I'm talking about Travis. I'm talking about Hyam. I'm talking about Tronstad. All contracts that are going to expire next year. No options anymore. Do we see any hope in any of those three signings? Signing a contract extension, Holmesy, do you think?
I don't think so, Dirk, to be brutally honest. I mean, I think they're going to work to try and get them done, but no, I don't see much hope. I think they're going to play out their contracts and then move on. And that's a sad reality. I think it's of the last 5 years of the administration and the people behind the scenes who let it get to that situation. You should be looking to renew contracts with 2 years to go, pushing pressure on them, making sure that they want it, not waiting till the last year, till the contract's almost run down. And then they're thinking, well, why didn't these guys approach me last year or the year before? And all of a sudden, you've got options. You've got options to move on for free. You can get a bit more money because they don't have to pay the club for you. Agents are licking their lips. I have heard certain rumors that Tronstad's family isn't that happy and hasn't really settled into life in Blackburn. Don't know why. They obviously haven't met Jacob yet. But Travis has been at Rovers for a long time, came through, had that little spell away. I think he was certainly more settled now with Eustace. Then I don't know. I think it's all just with that last crop of players has been a bit of a mess contract-wise. I'm hoping that all gets sorted moving forward with Waggett moving on, have a bit more business nuance, so to speak. And but unfortunately, I see these three players, or the players that you mentioned. I mean, out of all three important players, they're the spine of the team. You've got the centre back and two defensive midfielders. If you can keep them, put them on another 2-3 years, it'll go a long way to securing Rovers and prospects moving forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna divert these questions because I know I kind of got a feeling where you would go if I asked them the other way around. So, Jonty, I'm going to ask you this question. So, of the three, Travis, Tronstad, Dom Hyam, who do you think is more likely to sign a contract out of those three?
Ooh, that's $1 million question. You don't know where the heads are at. You don't know where they're financially. I believe that Britain's probably gone. They've offered him an extra 8, 9, 10 grand a week. Obviously, that's going to turn his head. That in his head will see them more ambitious. I think out of those three, probably Travis might be a little bit more loyal. I think it all depends. If we get off to a cracking start and by Christmas things are looking rosy, then we might be able to get another couple of season contracts out of them. But so it's really important. But I'm Hyam because of his age. Is he more likely to stay with Rovers? I think the first one to go will probably be Travis. Will be Tronstad. The least likely to go will hopefully be Travis, but I don't know. On that note, I'm going to hand back to you. Hopefully that's answered because my low battery is on 3%, so I'm going to cut off if I don't go and grab my battery.
Copy. That's fine.
That's not a euphemism. I'm
It's all good. You grab your battery. So Jacob, here's one for you then. We are being held to ransom at a certain point, and Callum Britton was a prime example of that. We sold him $3.5 million. Do we sell Travis? Do we sell Tronstad? What's your take on those two? Because basically the vulnerability of the players, it's in the players' hands. We're gambling. We're putting it all on the line here, and they're going to dwindle their contracts down. And realistically, do we see any hope in us getting promoted? With probably very slim chance of us getting in that. So, what do we do?
I think if you were to sell those 3 players right now, you'd literally be pulling the spine out of the team. And it worries me that next season we could be going into a season without that spine. You're taking a player out in Domain who played every minute last season. You're taking your captain out. You're taking Mr. Reliable out, who's a 7, 8 out of 10 every game. You take those 3 players out of that team, I think we'd be in for a relegation season next season. I'll be honest with you. I would be worried.
Would you be tempted to sell one to maybe finance an extension on like a Travis or something, or the other way around,
Yeah, I mean it's one of those where I can understand why the players aren't so willing to renew. I mean, Waggett's been gone, 2-3 months at this point since the women's team imploded, and we've still not got a replacement CEO. That just shows the state of the club right now, and from what's been seen about the job advert for it is basically, we want you to have no ego, we want you to have as little influence on things as possible. We just want you to take bullets for Sahel. You know what I mean? And yeah, it is just a mess behind the scenes. In answer to your question, I think the most sellable asset out of the 3 would be Travis. He's English. He's a tad younger than Tronstad. Obviously, he's a good few years younger than Hyam. If I could sell Travis to keep Tronstad and Hyam, tie them down to 2-3 year contracts, then I would. I probably would, because to lose all 3 of those next season would be a massive kick in the bollocks for this club.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are saying is like the Sydney Tavares coming in and the Axel guy coming in are mainly aimed at taking over the reins next season when these guys are probably going to be gone. So, and then the problem is, as always is, the players that have contracts are ones that we don't really want. I think Joe Rankin-Costello had a long-ass contract, and I think Hedges has got, I think he just signed a deal not too long ago. But it's definitely, and again, he doesn't seem to be going anywhere. I think, I don't know, he must have Valérien Ismaël sex tape or something like that. So he's got him under wraps, so it doesn't seem to want to drop him or he doesn't have anything bad to say about him. But anyway, so that, that's the situation we're in. Of course, yes, we got some new players in, but the question marks still remain on the future of, and again, like you said, the spine, it would be the spine. And we would lose Travis, captain, and we'd lose Domheim as vice captain. Who's next in line? Captain's armband. Do we have anybody at the moment?
Hedges.
Hedges. It probably is Hedges, but I think was Kaminsky ever captain? Did he ever wear the captain's armband?
No, Buckley sometimes wears it, doesn't he? When Travis comes off and Buckley comes on, he gets the armband. Is Todd Campbell a captain?
No.
Nah.
I think Carter could be a captain.
I was about to say Hayden Carter, maybe Scotty Wharton if he can kick on a little bit. I think Scotty Wharton's worn the armband once or twice.
I think Pickering was captain of the Crew back in the day.
Captained a few times.
Yeah, but maybe opportunity for whoever these guys coming in here to stake a claim. I think the Sydney guy may be Portuguese, but he is like English as well, so he might be able to. I'm not saying that's a thing that needs to be, but I think
he's very well spoken, isn't he, Sydney?
Yeah. He spent a lot of time in like Leicester in their academy, so he was there he was in the English system for a good bit of time. made a move. Appreciate that, guys. Thanks again for giving up a bit of your time on a late night there. Of course, Blackburn Rovers kicking it off against West Brom Albion this weekend. We're going to have the coverage continues. We've got fan coverage from either side. We've got a vlog, hopefully. We've even got a late night, Friday night chat show with, of course, the Rovers Mafiosos. You guys can get involved with the chat. So make sure you come back for that on a Friday night. That's right. We've got the watch along as well, just around the corner. So only one place to be, and that is right here. Until then, though, I'll see you soon when we come back for much more coverage of Blackburn Rovers. It seems to be getting a little bit lively in the transfer window. It seems to be lively with Blackburn Rovers. Interesting season around the corner, but hopefully we'll get off to a perfect start. We'll see you soon. I'm out.